Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy D Nally, aka Don Squally, holding up traffic a little bit here, so I better get my act together. What is going on, man? Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves here on this fine evening. As you can see, it is wintertime in Forza, so I'm thinking we're gonna have to do something all-wheel drive that can handle these kind of conditions here, unlike this this twin turbo 370Z here. Although it was doing some pretty sick slides, man. I think what we're gonna do here is head to the map and take ourselves back to our house and jump into the auction house real quick. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a car that was released recently that might meet the criteria that I am looking for here, and that car is the Nissan Pulsar. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is part of the seasonal challenges. Not exactly sure what those challenges are, but it is available to buy in the auction house. Now, they do start relatively low here. I'm not trying to get into a bidding war, even though there is one right here for 200,000. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is find the cheapest one that I can buy out. So far it's 1.7. We got one for 1.8 here. So 1.718 appears to be the buyout. So what I'm going to do is buy it for that price, and by the time I'm done building it, modding it, and tuning it, should be able to sell this thing for a little bit more than that. So we're going to go ahead and buy out the auction. And now we're going to go ahead and collect the car. And now that we own it, we are going to jump into the Nissans here and select our newly acquired 1990 Nissan Pulsar GTI-r and take it to the upgrade shop. Now, fun fact, I did actually race a bone stock Nissan Pulsar GTI-r in my G35. The video for that is on my YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Denali, and it was a good day, man. I was pretty exciting. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this thing has the SR20. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's like it's basically a baby GTR. Now, as I can see, we do have a lot of engine swap options. Now, my thought here, since this is, quote, the baby GTR, as it's always been dubbed, I want to go ahead and turn this into like Godzilla, man. I want to try to find a, we got an RB26 there, I believe. I want to find the R35. And I believe that's what this is right here, that 3.8 twin turbo. I think that's going to be the way to go on this build. I want to put the R35 motor in this thing and fully build it out with this engine here. Now, we are going to be keeping the all-wheel drive powertrain. I just don't see a reason to take it off since it is winter. This thing's going to be all-wheel drive, and it's going to be able to like just completely destroy anything. Now, since I do have in mind a slightly more rugged build than a street build, I think we're gonna go ahead and pass on the front splitter, even though I did kind of like it. That wing here, not really feeling that. I think we're gonna go ahead and keep the stock wing on this thing. Now, as far as the tires, I am gonna put a snow tire, which in summer will turn into a mud tire. I am gonna widen the tracks, or the tire width, I should say. It does look like we can adjust the track width as well. Now comes the fun part. I'm gonna skim through a couple of the wheel designs here. I'm looking for something, you know, something that suits the lines of this car. So I'll let you guys know when I find what I'm looking for. Now, I'm thinking in keeping with the theme of this car, it being the 1990s, I think we're going to go with these 3-spoke. Well, there's actually 6 spokes, but it's in a, like kind of a 3-spoke pattern here. I think we're going to go ahead and throw these on the car. I think this is a very 90s style wheel. So we're going to go ahead and throw those on there. I think it's got a pretty sick style to it. Once we widen the track width here of both the front and back wheels, Dang, we can get a lot of poke on this thing. Now, there's no way you wouldn't be rubbing with a setup like that. But since we can make it that ridiculous, I think we're going to have to go ahead and take advantage of it, man. Throw the widest wheel spacers on this thing possible. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and upgrade the clutch. We are going to have to upgrade the transmission since we are like we're throwing a completely like different engine, way more power. I believe the original power was like 250 something horsepower in this car. We're going to be hopefully well over 1,000 horsepower by the time we're done. I don't want to make any, I don't want to make any, guarantees here. But the R35 engine is known to make quite a bit of power in this game, so we're going to see what we can do there. Upgrading the brakes, we are going to then do the upgraded suspension. Now the race springs and dampers looking pretty cool, but I think we're going to put on a rally spring and damper setup on here and make some adjustments. I want the car to look, a little bit lowered, but I also want to be able to have that soft suspension on here. So we're going to throw some anti-roll bars as well, both front and back. I don't think we're going to need any weight reduction with this engine, so we're going to go ahead and skip on that. Now comes the fun part. We have a lot of upgrades to do here, so I'm just going to go ahead, maybe do a little cut here, and when I get done completely building out this car, we're going to see what our horsepower is sitting at. Turbo upgrades obviously making the most difference here, but we are pretty much done here. And let's see what we are looking at. 758 kilowatts, not as much horsepower as I wanted. That's right around 1,000 horsepower, not much more, maybe 1,020 horsepower, but yeah, that's a little bit less than I was expecting, but in this small of a vehicle, I think that's going to be more than plenty here. So let's go ahead and install this setup on the car. Let's go ahead and jump into the tuning here. Now, one thing that I do want to do, actually, the gearing's not terrible. Maybe we'll go a little bit more to speed, not much. I want to see if we can hit 300 kilometers in this thing on the highway. Now, one thing I do want to do is adjust the springs. Now, as you can see, we do have a soft setup here. I want to stiffen this up just a little bit, not a lot. And I also want to lower this thing. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like completely slammed here. For the alignment, since we did have a lot of poke on the front, I'm going to throw a little bit of camber on there. Springs, the dampening. I know we got the rally springs and dampers on here, but I want to stiffen things up just a touch. Nothing serious. And then the differential, I think we're going to leave 50-50 because I think that's going to be probably the best bet in order to gain the most traction out of this thing. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and paint it. Now I do want to see, I am interested in some of the designs here that maybe pay homage to, like, I don't know, some old, Nismo race teams or something like that. And one that is catching my eye is this WRC 2016 livery. Love the way that these wheels look in white. So I'm hoping that our wheels that we've selected are going to look just as good here. Now that we got all that out of the way, I guess the only thing left to do is take this thing out on the road and see what it can do. Now keep in mind, we've added more than 4 times the horsepower this car was originally intended to have in it. And I'll tell you right now, this thing is absolutely insane. Oh my god. Oh my. Wow. This right here, for those of you who are watching, quite possibly could be the most insane car that I have ever built on this channel, and I'm not even exaggerating. do another little launch here. Now, I do have an R35 Nissan Sentra as well in this game. Whoa. And it does not pull nearly as hard as this. Good Lord. Wow. Now this car right here, it might not necessarily be the fastest car that I own, but it's definitely the most insane. Just the way it pulls, the whole car is just going back and forth from the torque here. Looks like we got some highway here. See if we can get a pull on some relatively straight open roads. Sixth gear here. And that looks like the top of 6 there, so we need to make some adjustments to our gearing. Brakes having trouble there, stopping from such a high speed. Let's go ahead and jump into the tuning here. We're going to have to adjust our transmission just a little bit. I think we're going to need a little bit more speed here. Let's see how that does right there. Got some serious camber on those front wheels there. That's insane right there, man. So let's see how that worked out here. I want to check the map real quick, find out what's the best way for us to go. So it looks like if I turn around and go back the other way, that's probably going to be our fastest straightaway here. See what our top speed is with those gear adjustments. Now I can't lie, the car's not pulling nearly as aggressive now that we've changed the transmission, because every gear change before, the whole car would just be swerving, like fighting for traction, swerving all over the road. Now it's a little more tame, and it looks like we're getting a very good top speed now. Not sure where our red line's going to top out, but it looks like we're running out of road before the gear. Whoa, whoa. Again, I think that I did that in the Velociraptor not that long ago too. So this thing is a beast, man. Let's do one more little pull. Looks like some guys racing there. Let's do one from inside here. 1,000 horsepower, baby GTR right here. First gear, definitely fighting for traction. Second and third now, very tame. This thing is just a beauty to drive, man. The power to weight ratio is just absolutely perfect. The all-wheel drive system in this thing, I don't know what that is. Looks like a McLaren possibly. I think the real downfall to this car at this point is probably just the tires. I mean, I had this thing set up to do some minor off-roading and snow driving, but I'm thinking I might have to go back and put on like a better tire setup here, because it was struggling in the high-speed cornering, but like I say, I do have a funny feeling that's 100% got to do with the tires here. But let's go ahead and jump into the city here. We'll try to find a decent spot to maybe take a screenshot for our thumbnail, and as we usually do around this time, put an end to this video. Now, I am absolutely in love with these wheels. I think the white with this whole livery here, I think it's an amazing combination. The white wheels with the spokes on it, I think just really suits this car very well. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. I had fun building it. And if it wasn't for 6th gear, Topping out, I would have left the gears the way that they were because this thing was pulling so hard all the way up into fourth gear. I was just super impressed. But nonetheless, the thing is still an animal, still looks great. And I don't know, I'm kind of considering on keeping it now. The plan was to sell it, and I'm sure I could probably get a little bit more cash for it, but I don't know, man. This thing is sick. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. But as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Really means a lot if you guys did enjoy this one. Don't forget to smash that like button. And as always, we are going to catch y'all mofos. Woo! At the next one, man. Donies for the boys, bro. Donies for the boys. Peace. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.